Welcome to The Becks, a podcast that explores multimedia horror with host Becky and Sydney. Join us as we talk about movies, books, video games, music, and much, much more.
Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Sydney Rebecca.
And I'm Rebecca Snow.
And we're the Becks. Welcome back. We're talking about The Silence of the Lambs.
We are.
The lambs, Clarice. Are they still screaming?
Yeah.
So
creepy.
I listened to the audiobook.
And I watched the movie again. Because I watched it multiple times, obviously.
This is one adaptation that I can say with a lot of confidence, actually, that if you're not into reading books, you can absolutely just watch the movie. It's a super, super loyal adaptation. It's really good.
That really blows my mind that it's that good.
It's so good. It's not very long, to be honest. I think the audiobook was 7 hours.
Really? That's really short for an audiobook.
I don't remember it being that long. It might have been longer. I don't know.
Interesting. I'm interested. I might have to read it just to listen to it.
We talked about this earlier, about how this was the first movie that was made. Despite the fact that there was a book before this that they made a movie about later on.
Yeah.
Which is so bizarre to me.
Yeah, you had me all confused because I literally was like, no, Silence of the Lambs was first. I know it was. I didn't know the order of the books, obviously, because I thought that they were, prequels and whatever.
Yeah.
But no, so then I looked it up, and I think I actually did a note so I would remember because it just boggled my mind. I'm like, Sydney, I'm confused. Oh, yep, I did. So Silence of the Lambs was released in 1991. The movie. Red Dragon was released in 2002, and Hannibal was released in 2001. Mm-hmm. So they were all discombobulated.
Just totally out of order.
Yeah.
That's stupid. I don't understand why they did that. I guess, okay, I do know why they did that. Because Silence of the Lambs was the most popular book in the trilogy.
So maybe that's why they started out with that one thinking, maybe not even that they were going to make other movies, just they were going to do Silence of the Lambs.
Could be. I feel like once you bag Anthony Hopkins as the protagonist, though, it's Anthony Hopkins.
It is Anthony Hopkins.
You're going to have a franchise on your hands if you're smart with it.
Yeah, for sure.
Because he is perfect for Hannibal Lecter.
Oh, man. I told you before that I found him attractive, and you were like, yeah, Hannibal. Not Hannibal. But watching this movie again and just really paying attention because, paying attention to do the podcast, he is just so creepy. The little nuances he puts into that character and the way he says things and his facial expressions. Dude.
This is something fun that I know about this movie. I know that we're going to talk about the book movie differences, which there aren't a lot. But this is just a fun fact I have about the movie. Anthony Hopkins, he wasn't told to do this. He just decided to, as the character of Hannibal Lecter. He never blinks when he's on screen.
Oh, now I gotta watch it again. Damn it.
He never blinks.
That's even more creepy.
Yeah. Okay,
That's
so
creepy.
For those that don't know, The Silence of the Lambs is about a FBI trainee named Clarice Starling. She is recruited, essentially, to help the FBI's investigation into a serial killer who's called Buffalo Bill. He was kind of coined this by the media.
Yeah.
And
for a horrible, horrible reason.
Yeah. Jack Crawford, who's he's kind of Clarice Starling's boss. He's very respected. He's caught a lot of killers in his time. he thinks he wants to send Clarice in to talk to Hannibal Lecter because he thinks that Hannibal Lecter might have some insight into the Buffalo Bill case.
But he tricks Clarice into believing that she's just going in there to get some information and get a workup on a psychological profile. So she really doesn't know that she's going in there to actually get serious information.
Yeah. Which is a departure from the book. Because
is it?
She takes the little psychological workup.
Yeah.
And she does get him to do it. But she's always there for the secret third purpose.
Yeah.
She doesn't expect to be kept on the case of Buffalo Bill because, again, she's just a trainee. She hasn't graduated or anything. And they even talk about in the book how if she spends any more time on the case that she'll actually get kicked out of the academy and she'll have to start over.
Oh, shit. That's horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, they kind of make her the hero in the movie because... And they really immerse her into the case.
So that's Jodie Foster, isn't it?
Yeah.
She's really good as Clarice.
She's amazing. And the chemistry between her and Anthony Hopkins is just off the charts. And he's so condescending to her. He just, fly away, little starling. Oh, I just want to punch him in his face.
So
even though he might eat me, I would punch him.
So there's a lot of nuance when it comes to Clarice being a woman. Like, they talk about it a lot, about how she's not respected by her peers at all, how even Jack will kind of, like, brush her off in the presence of other men. And he, like, makes excuses about it, like, oh, I don't need anybody to know that you're, like, you know, you're in my back pocket or whatever. Like, you're my secret.
They don't really do that
advantage or anything. Is Jack Crawford really a big role?
Yeah, but
who's he played by?
It's almost a strange role because it's not huge, but he's always there. He's always in the background. You're always seeing him. Let me look. Scott Glenn, Theodore Scott Glenn. So
Jack Crawford is the head of the FBI division that creates psychological profiles for serial killers. And Hannibal Lecter is one of those serial killers that they caught. But the thing is like, he was never willing to do any of these profile. Like, he wasn't willing to do any questionnaires or anything like that. He always kind of evaded that. And for some reason, Jack Crawford thought that Clarice could get him to do it. I don't know if he was convinced that Clarice could do it, but I think, like, one of the things that even the fucking scummy director of the asylum that Lecter's in, they're like, oh, it's because you're a woman. You know, Hannibal Lecter hasn't seen a woman in 9 years or whatever, so
they do say that he hasn't seen a woman in all those years. However, he has a lot of respect for her.
He does.
And he finds it super rude for anyone to mistreat her. He would not do that, which is hilarious because of who he is and what he's done.
That scene is verbatim from the book.
Is it?
Yes. So he is very condescending with her first. He kind of brushes her off. He's kind of insulted that they would even send a trainee to come in and talk to him. He's very high on himself.
Yes, he's very much that way, obviously,
yes.
in the movie, too. He's like, oh, really? They send you.
So,
a trainee. Jack sends a trainee to see me.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, he definitely thinks very highly of who he is. I mean, he's
Hannibal Lecter. He's very smart. He is a doctor.
He is.
He's still, I don't know if they mentioned in the movie, but he still writes stuff for psychological journals.
I can't remember if they said that or not.
And these journals do publish him still, mostly because of his reputation, though. Like, not as a doctor.
Yeah, for sure.
As a cannibalistic serial killer. Do they mention Will Graham at all in the movie?
Sounds super familiar. Because
they talk about Will Graham all the time in the book, because Red Dragon was the book before Silence of the Lambs, and that's when Hannibal ruined Will Graham's life. And Will Graham was Jack Crawford's protege before Clarice Starling was.
I don't know. I think maybe not.
That's why it's so...
Now I really gotta watch the movie again.
That's why it's so bizarre to me that Red Dragon came out as a movie after the Silence of the Lambs movie, because especially in the beginning, Will Graham haunts the narrative. Have you ever heard that term?
Yeah.
It's like a character that never pops up, but is, talked about or referenced, or something that character went through in some way impacts the story that you're reading or watching now. Will Graham haunts the narrative like crazy in Silence of the Lambs.
Okay, he is mentioned. While he never physically appears, he is referenced as a legendary FBI profiler and former colleague of Jack Crawford's. Clarice Starling, the main character, mentions him as the keenest hound ever to run in Crawford's pack. Crawford himself tells Starling that Graham's face now looks like damned Picasso drew it.
Yeah, because Hannibal Lecter stabbed the fuck out of his face.
Yeah. So, it is mentioned.
Okay.
But I guess I missed that part. I don't know.
Well,
paying attention to everything else, it probably was a quick conversation. I was like, that doesn't matter. But did.
There's a lot going on in this movie. So, one thing I want to ask you about. So, one of the things that Buffalo Bill is known for, obviously, is he abducts women and...
Bigger girls. They're all big women.
They're all big women. Okay. So, is there a lot of fat phobia in this movie?
Well, kind of, yeah. I mean, they talk about the women being big and...
They're so mean in the book about it. It's horrible.
Really?
Yeah, it made me really uncomfortable. Even Clarice is like, fat girl this, fat girl that. I'm like, God, can we relax a little bit?
Oh, yeah, not in the movie. She doesn't do that.
Because they're fucking size 10s or something. I think a lot of them are like size 12s or something. The thing is...
it was size 14, they said in the movie.
The reason for this, and Hannibal Lecter tells her this at their second meeting. Buffalo Bill is making himself a skin suit. Because he thinks he's a real girl.
Yes.
So the other thing I want to ask you is the movie transphobic? Because I can't remember.
Well, I mean, I don't know how a movie that's portraying a trans person slaughtering people cannot be transphobic.
Well,
they don't talk about...
In the movie, it's made very clear...
In the book, you mean?
Yeah, sorry.
No, that's okay.
I was
confused. I'm like,
in the book, it's made very clear by several different people, including Hannibal Lecter himself, that Buffalo Bill is not a trans person.
Yes. No, he did say that too.
He thinks he's trans.
He has tried to transition and have surgery and has been denied by multiple doctors.
That's actually part of how they find him, is they kind of trace back the trail of... They have a very specific profile that they create, and they go to one of 3, I think, hospitals in the area that will do gender dysphoria surgeries and stuff. And they look for the rejects of it. Not the people who have actually gone through it, but the rejects in it. In the book, and this was really uncomfortable for me, because I was like, this is icky. Jack Crawford threatened I don't know if he was like the medical director or what of one of the hospitals. He threatened him that he was going to leak the fact that Buffalo Bill was a trans person who sought out their help, so that the hospital would essentially get a really bad reputation, and it would cause a lot of issues, because it's a very marginalized community.
Well, yeah.
already, like, fully misunderstood and hated by a lot of people.
Well, in 1991, too. Yeah, or I don't even know when the year was supposed to be when they actually, like in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But in 1991, when it was filmed, I graduated in 91, and trans people were not very accepted ever.
Well, and that's the thing. That's part of the thing that kind of bothers me about it is I know that as a society, we take a lot of our cues on social issues from the media that we consume, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I do wonder what kind of negative impact the book and movie had on the trans community. Because it was the most popular book. It sold like 10 million copies.
That's crazy.
In 1988. So it went crazy. It I think it was only second to One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. So,
wow.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Just food for thought there.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, they talked a lot about how he was not really trans. How he was just mentally ill and was trying to... And I mean, obviously, he was kidnapping women and making a skin suit. So he would... That's the reason he kidnapped bigger girls. Is because then he would basically starve them so their skin would loosen, and then he could remove the parts he needed for his girl suit.
His girl suit, yeah. There's this...
I forgot to tell you the other day. You weren't there. You were gone on Friday. So Thursday I went into Dollar General, and I walked in there, and I was walking by, and this guy came barreling down a aisle towards me with a cart. Like, I was walking by, and he almost hit me.
Oh, geez.
And I didn't really look at him. I just looked and saw he had, like, 10 or 12 gallons of water in his cart. And he said, "Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me." But when he talked, it was Buffalo Bill's voice. And I'm not joking. It was that weird... You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That dark, that deep voice that's kind of muffled. I don't even know how to explain it.
Would you fuck me?
Yeah.
I'd fuck me.
I'd fuck me. I'd fuck me hard. Anyway. So I heard that voice. Dude, I got the hell out of there. And I did look back, and he had, like, real thin, scrunchy hair that was sticking up all over, and it freaked me the hell out. I was like, nope, I'm out. I'm out.
Did you meet Buffalo Bill?
I don't know. It was scary. A little scary. I was scared a little bit. It took me, because I had just watched the movie, and, like a few days before, a week before, or whatever, and I didn't even look at him, so it wasn't like I put that together.
Right.
He said, "Excuse me, I'm so sorry," and it was that voice, and it just, whoo, creepy. Anyway, sorry.
No, it's okay.
Off on a tangent there, but I wanted to tell you, and I forgot.
This movie and the book, they're so good. It's so tense, because even though, especially when you're reading an audiobook, or, a novel or whatever, and it takes you a few hours to read it. At the very least, it's the length of whatever the audiobook is.
Yeah.
Even listening to it, the whole time I felt very tense. It was like I felt like I was in Clarice's shoes, fighting to save the next abduction victim.
Yeah.
And I remember watching the movie. I mean, it's been years since I watched it, but the movie is really tense, too. Even when it gets into more of the procedural stuff, it still feels tense.
Oh, yeah. It's
a really impressive thriller.
It is. There's a lot of... It's so much psychological stuff. I mean, yeah, there's some gore there, obviously, but you don't really see the gore as much. I mean, because they talk about it, and they talk about the suit he's making out of human skin, and they show him sewing, and that it gets to you.
Yeah.
And they do show, obviously, the suit on him as he's doing his little admiring of himself in the
Part
mirror.
of the suit, anyway.
Yeah. But just the intense, scary, I mean, you just know that they're fighting for this girl's life.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Hannibal Lecter that is just playing every
Yes.
moment of everything to his advantage.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously he's a psychiatrist. He's was well known until
He was a very successful doctor.
Yes.
He had many patients.
And he knows how to play that psychological game, and he's terrifying. He's more terrifying most of the time than Buffalo Bill. He's scary.
Yeah.
And so you got this one character that's going to kill this young girl, and you're trying to fight for her life, obviously, the people in the movie, but then you've got Hannibal Lecter that's, the first thing that Jack said one of the first things that he said to Clarice was, do not tell Dr. Lecter anything about your personal life.
Yes.
And of course, the first thing that he does, that Dr. Lecter, that
barters
Hannibal
for
does,
it.
is he barters for it. Quid pro quo.
Yeah.
I give you some information, you give me some information,
Yeah.
Clarice. And he wants very personal information. Of course he does. So he can play it psychologically. He knows how to play every little chess piece to fuck with your head. And that's scarier to me than... Yeah.
And the thing that was, I think, the most frustrating for me listening to the book, and even in the movie, was even though Clarice was doing so good, like really impressively, fantastically good at not giving anything away or showing that he was affecting her, he was still learning so much about her.
Yeah.
And it gave you this sense of total, like, not helplessness exactly, but it was just like it was inevitable.
Yeah, it's almost like a dread, because you know that she's giving so much of herself to him.
Yeah.
What's he gonna do with it? Now, there's one scene in the movie where her and her friend, her FBI friend, they're like the two females that are in like the whole squadron. There's like all these guys, and they're both there, and her friend, she's sitting there talking to her, and they're trying to figure things out. She's helping her look at the evidence and trying to figure out which way to go. And she's like, if he gets loose, is he going to come after you? And she's like, he won't come after me. And she kind of looked at her, and she goes, what do you mean, Clarice? And she said, he would consider that rude.
Mm-hmm.
So I have no doubt that he won't come after me. But, just the thought of,
Because he does escape.
He does.
Is the thing. And it's all because of that fucking medical director. That fucking guy. I can't remember the character's name. He's such a little weasel.
He is he's super mean to Hannibal.
And he doesn't even... Okay, I don't know. In the book, Hannibal, like, calls him out for not even having a medical degree. Does that happen in the movie?
I think so, yeah. He talks shit about him big time. All the time. Every time he sees him, he says
like,
something.
not even a real doctor.
Yeah. And, I don't know if it happened in the book, but when they figured out kind of who Buffalo Bill was, or at least they had their profile together, he had listened into the conversation that Clarice and Dr. Lecter had.
He bugged the room.
Yeah. And then he did a press conference and released the information and said that he figured it out.
Yeah. And it was premature. The FBI didn't want him to release that.
No. So.
Because they figured that Buffalo Bill, if he was pressured, he would just cut his losses. Because he'd done it in the past. Did they talk about his past, like how he had killed his grandparents?
I don't know if they actually talked about it. It's kind of, I think, assumed, but maybe they talked about it.
I was just curious.
Remember.
It's not like it's super important, but that was one of the things that they did. Like, it backed into a corner before he had killed his grandparents, and so he wouldn't hesitate on killing the girl that he had captured this last time. Which, it ended up being a senator's daughter, so that was a whole other kind of...
Did Dr. Lecter and the senator, was it a female in the book? Did they have that confrontation at the airport when she bartered letting him be transferred to a different place to give them information? Did he ask her about her nipples? in the book?
I can't remember.
He looked at her and he's like...
Oh, I think he asked her if... I don't remember if there was anything specific about her nipples, but I remember him asking if he breastfed Catherine.
Yes, he asked her if she breastfed. And he said something about an animal, if something gets cut off, if someone loses a limb, that they still can feel it, that it still aches, that they still tingle, they feel that. And he said, what part of you is going to tingle, Mom? And he's like, can you feel her missing in your nipples? Or he said something about her nipples getting rock hard or something. I don't know. But he literally just went at her and she was like, take this son of a bitch and get him out of here. And yeah, and then he was like, oh, blah, 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 and gave him a whole bunch of information on
where
he could be found and where the address was and this and that. Yeah, because he was not sharing any real information with them, only with Clarice.
Yeah. He didn't.
And it was almost like it was such a game to him how he was putting Clarice into these positions, like the storage unit. And how she had to go find all these clues. And it was like, yeah, I'm going to put you on the scavenger hunt. You're my little pawn, is what I felt like. He was playing her.
Yeah.
And directing her where to go and how to go. And
this is the thing, is as much as he didn't... Like, as much as he was condescending to Clarice, I think he really liked her.
I think he liked her. I think he respected her. But I think because he was mentally ill, obviously.
Right.
I think he liked the psychological games. I think that was...
For sure. And that's what Jack Crawford even said. He's like, that's why he didn't want Clarice to give any information to him. And that's why he never wanted Lecter to be he didn't want Lecter to know about the case. Obviously, they couldn't avoid it because it was in the news or whatever. But he especially didn't want Lecter to ever be near the senator.
Yeah.
And the medical director ruined that.
All he did was ruin everything. He was trying to make himself better known and get applause. And it was all about him. He's a super narcissistic jerk is what that guy was. I'm not saying that Hannibal Lecter deserved all this respect and he should have been treated well, but he was very aggressive and abusive towards all of the inmates, and we only know kind of what they were referencing. We don't know exactly what they did. From the sounds of it, he tortured the inmates. I mean, because Hannibal said things that made you believe that he had been put through some physical issues because of him.
Yeah.
And Hannibal Lecter, if you haven't watched the movie or read the book, but anytime he was moved, he had to be masked and like cuffed and
like straitjacket
and because he likes to eat people's faces.
And what? Yeah, stuff. He had like bitten somebody's lip and nose off.
Yeah, because
they had gotten too close to him.
The fava beans. That's when he does that. I'm just like, oh my god, yes, so creepy. Oh,
he'd like to have you for dinner.
Yes. Oh, yeah. There's just no.
They talk about it in the movie. Is the one way to really get to Hannibal Lecter was to take away his dignity. So whenever he was punished, they would take the toilet seat away and like his drawings and like they did things that would like embarrass him.
Yeah.
They took away all aspect of his privacy and all this stuff and
he was a phenomenal artist. He did beautiful drawings.
Yeah, it was kind of implied that he had almost like an eidetic memory.
Yeah.
Like he had a very, very good memory.
Was he blamed for the other inmate's death?
Not that they could prove.
Well, they couldn't prove it in the movie either. But...
So when Clarice first goes to, this actually is one of the most memorable scenes and the most disturbing for me. I don't know what it is about it exactly. I think it's just a uniquely horrible thing to happen to anyone, but especially from a woman's perspective, I think is what makes it so bad. So she's leaving the asylum, And she had been told by the orderlies to stay far away from the cells and to not look at any of them. Like, to just head down, go to Hannibal's cell, head down, come back, you know. She makes the mistake of looking at one. Well, I don't want to say mistake. It is a mistake.
Yeah, he's grunting and groaning and saying he cut himself and he's in horrible pain and making lots of noise. And she stops and looks at him, and then he really starts groaning.
Yeah, yeah, I don't even want to say it. It's so gross. Needless to say, he throws something in her face. And Hannibal Lecter gets really angry. And that's when he says, like, I would never have had that happen to you. That was, like, a disrespect beyond everything. And that's when he actually tells her something about the case. When Clarice comes to visit him again, it's revealed that the inmate that had done that to her had swallowed his own tongue, had killed himself. Mm-hmm. And Hannibal Lecter was actually being punished for it. They had taken away his toilet seat, and they'd done all this stuff. Like, all of his drawing stuff was taken away. Like, totally barren cell. And I think he tells Clarice, oh, yeah, they think it was me.
Yeah.
Because he was whispering to him. Uh-huh. He was saying things to him in the night, and then he had killed himself.
Yep. Yep, he did.
I am so, like, I don't want to know because I'm sure it's disturbing and terrible and horrible. But I also do kind of wonder what exactly he said to the other inmate.
Oh, yeah.
To make him
for
do
sure.
that. Because did they talk about that particular, not that inmate, but the one who replaced him in that cell, the one who took over that cell, did they talk about that inmate at all?
I don't think so.
I just wonder, because Clarice and Hannibal talked about it. It was kind of one of those things where Clarice was kind of humoring him a little bit, because humoring Hannibal Lecter gave her answers. If she participated in his games, she would learn things, or he would give her hints or whatever. And they talked about how the medical director was, like, determined to label this guy as one thing, but Hannibal Lecter really didn't think that was what was really wrong with him, that the medical director was just trying to put him in a box and keep him, like, medicated and stuff.
Yeah.
So, I was just curious. It's another, like, just glimpse into the treatment that these mentally ill people receive.
Yeah, for sure.
So this is my question to you, because they talk about how Hannibal Lecter is there. He's serving 9 consecutive life sentences. If a person like that existed in real life, it's too horrible to think about. The thing that's uniquely horrible about Hannibal Lecter was his position in life. He was a fucking doctor. And not just was he a doctor, he was a psychiatrist. So he learned about all of these people, their deepest, darkest secrets, and had the ability to influence them.
Yeah.
Which you see more in Red Dragon than you do in this book, I feel. But that's neither here nor there. He had so much power. Like, psychiatrists have so much power over their patients because of the relationship that they have.
Of course. I mean, you open up to them and you give them so much information about yourself.
Did they, at any point, think that Buffalo Bill had been one of Hannibal Lecter's patients?
I don't think so.
Because that was one of the places that they looked. They wanted to cross-reference Hannibal Lecter's old patient files with some of the profiles that they came up with.
They did, I think, look into that too. So, yeah, they may have. Because he was leading them to, like the severed head.
Yeah. Because the severed head guy was a patient.
It was, and he did not kill him. Mm-mm. So, that led to more questions.
Yeah.
But, yeah. And he admitted, though, he was not his patient. But he knew of someone that knew blah, blah, blah. And, he knew.
Yeah.
He knew. There was a little in there. Hannibal Lecter. Ugh.
So creepy.
Yes,
Could
creepy.
you imagine? This is the thing that freaked me out, too, about it, was I think it's better and always safer. It's always safer and always better to not be interesting to Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah.
Because he was interested in Clarice, and that was scary.
Yeah. But he respected her, so she was safe. Which still to me is scary because you just don't know in a mind like that. And I guess, I am weird. I have always thought I'd like to go talk to a serial killer. I would.
I don't think that's weird.
That's like the psychological. I've always been into psychology and loved that whole thing and wanted to go into psychology until I realized that a lot of people that are therapists and doctors and they're all a little crazy, which you have to be. You would have to be to deal with other people's issues all day long. I mean, you would have to be just a little off, right? But no, there are times I've thought, I'm going to write that serial killer. But then, knowing me, I'd get so involved that I would slip up and weirdo would get out and come kill me or something. So I avoid it. I avoid it. Because I would ask a lot of questions. I would probably invest too much time to know. Because I would want to know.
Yeah.
So. Ugh.
One of the biggest clues that they find is the chrysalis.
Mm-hmm. It's shoved down the girl's throat.
Yes.
Like way down.
And they think at first that it was just from her being in there, because he dumps the bodies in rivers. But Clarice actually looks into it, and it's this weird, rare moth that isn't native at all to that part of the United States. So they determine that, it must be somebody who raises them and breeds them or whatever. I don't know what the term is. And lo and behold, Buffalo Bill.
Yeah.
His name is James.
Yeah, James Gum, right?
Did they talk about how that was a clerical error?
I don't remember. Maybe they did.
Could you imagine turning that into what? I mean, his problems started young, but literally turning a clerical error into your whole personality. Like, he was like, "No, my name is James. God damn it! I don't care if it was an accident and it was supposed to be James."
Yeah.
But it turns out James Gum does raise moths.
Yeah, he raises the death's head hawk moth. Yeah. That's what they are. I wonder if their caterpillars are dangerous. I want to look.
I'm sure they are.
Yeah. Yeah. Caterpillars are dangerous, people. Stay away.
I always knew not to touch them.
Okay, dude. I didn't touch it. It's not like I went off and picked up the caterpillar and said, "Here, climb in my clothes, little friend." This is not what freaking happened. I did not invite it to come visit me. I did not want anything to do with it. Oh my God, they're huge.
Yeah, they're really big. Is the caterpillar dangerous? Look at how creepy that skull on its back is.
I know.
So
Let's
good.
look at caterpillar.
They're cool as fuck, though. So, I don't know if it happens like this in the movie. So, Clarice kind of finds this weird lead with one of the
13 centimeter wingspan.
Centimeter.
So 13 centimeters is pretty big.
You can't see it, but I'm like trying to measure it with my fingers.
Yeah, hold on though. I gotta look up the caterpillar. Sorry, I interrupted you when you were talking.
Yeah. You know, we're talking here. It's supposed to be talking about the movie, the book.
We are. We're talking about this. You told me to look up and see if the caterpillars were dangerous.
Well, I figured it would be faster. I'm sorry. Anyway.
They are not considered dangerous, though they can be a minor pest to crops. While they may bite if threatened, their bite is not venomous or dangerous to humans. The adult moths are also harmless, feeding on honey and nectar. I would never
Hilarious.
think that looking at them.
Hilarious.
They are just like
It's really funny.
horribly terrible. But they do have like barbs at the end of their tail. I would not touch them. It doesn't show me the caterpillar, but oh yeah, there it is. Oh, it's kind of pretty.
Oh.
It's got a pretty design. I still wouldn't touch it. I will never touch a caterpillar ever as long as I live. Anything that looks like a caterpillar.
Anyway, Clarice finds this weird lead, okay, with one of the old victims. She worked with a girl who worked with another woman who was like a tailor. And so she goes, and I don't know, I think it's because she thinks something happens to where it's something about sewing skin. Like, she thinks that Buffalo Bill must be pretty talented because of the materials that he works with, like, morbidly. So...
Yeah, they said that they would have to be, like, trained how to sew because skin can be hard to
work with. Yes.
And so it would have to be someone that was probably trained professionally.
Yeah. So she finds this address to this house of this old seamstress, and she ended up dying, and she left the house to James Gum.
Yeah.
And he answers the door in his bathrobe. This was right when he was gonna go and kill Catherine, too.
Yeah, he was down there.
Timing was insane.
Yeah.
And it's exactly like that in the book,
and he gets really
too.
pissed because
She has his dog.
Yeah.
Precious.
Yeah, she pulls the dog with a bone. She throws a bone.
Which was smart as fuck, by
It
the way.
was.
Love
And
Catherine.
so she's holding the dog hostage, saying, I will hurt your dog if you don't let me out of here.
She wasn't going to hurt the dog.
No, she wasn't. But...
And he figured that out right then, and that was when he was going to kill her. Because the book does a few chapters from Buffalo Bill's perspective, which was absolutely the worst part.
Oh, I bet.
Like, nightmarish, truly. Like, I don't get... It wasn't like a squeamish thing. It was just like... Thomas Harris got so effectively in this character's head that I was just extremely disturbed.
Oh, I'm sure.
I was telling the girls at work, Becky included, that when I finished the novel, I immediately started up Lord of the Rings because I wanted to just hear about hobbits talking about how much they loved butter. Because I just needed a palate cleanser so bad.
Yeah, no, the psychological aspect of how messed up Buffalo Bill is, or James Gum is, or whatever. And, you know, we all know the line. You've all heard it. It puts the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the hose again. And she's fighting with him. She's like, no, just give me a phone. Do this, do that. At that one part, too.
Yeah.
And he's like, put the fucking lotion in the basket. I mean, he's just... Like, you see him going from... He's trying to be this calm, patient, you know, psychopath.
Yeah.
Because, I mean,
So I don't know if they could effectively show this in the movie unless they overtly had him say, like, a line about it. But... In his chapters, he never refers to Catherine by name. He thinks of her as a... what did he say? I don't remember the exact term. It's going to piss me off now. Basically, he was calling her like a cow, but like like for leather.
Oh.
Like... He was referring to her as an object that was giving him skin. And I don't know why I can't remember the term. I'm actually really irritated right now that I can't remember what he called her. Because he did everything he could to dehumanize her.
Yeah.
And, like, listening to that in an audiobook was just so fucked up. It was terrible. So Clarice shows up and is like, hey, I'm looking for so-and-so. Does she still live here? And he's like, no, I bought it from her or something like that. He's like, Clarice is looking for, like, the people who own this lady's estate. because she thinks there might be a clue.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know what? I actually might have a card. So he turns away and, like, goes to get it, and she sees one of the moths on his robe. Does that happen in the movie?
Yeah. Well, it's not on his robe, but it's right there because he's talking to her, and she's like, you know, I'm investigating the disappearance of Catherine, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, wait, I saw that in the news. Is she a great big fat woman?
Yeah, so weird.
Yeah, and so then she's looking around while he's talking, and that's when she sees the moth, and that's when she pulls her gun and is like, freeze, and he takes off. Which that, to me, this whole next scene after that, where
with the night vision, yeah, very tense. So in the book, she sees the moth, and it flies away. Like, it flies over her shoulder, and it lands somewhere, and she looks at the moth, and she looks at him, and it's like they both realize at the exact same moment that...
Yeah, that's how it happens in the movie, too. They, like, make eye contact, and he realizes, and she realizes, and she goes to pull her gun and tell him to freeze, and he's already, like, falling over himself and running away. It's yeah.
So he uses the night vision goggles to observe the moths.
He used the night vision goggles also to kidnap Catherine.
Well, and also to watch her in the dark and just be creepy bitch.
Yeah, so he was wearing those the night he abducted her.
Yeah.
He was watching her drive up to her house and then faked. Yeah, girls.
A man will never ask you for help. Let me repeat that. A man will never ask you for help.
He literally was trying to put a couch into his van by himself with a broken arm. And she put down her groceries and went and helped him. Don't do that. And especially when he says, can you get up in the van? No, fucker, you get up in the van. No. I'm swearing a lot in this one. But don't do that. Don't.
And again,
help a strange man that you don't know. No.
I will reiterate
vehicle
this.
He can shove you into.
Men you know won't ask you for help, let alone a man you don't know. So if a man is asking you for help, run away.
Yeah, and if they're acting helpless like he was, run away.
Well, that was one of the things that Ted Bundy did, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he fucking was like, ooh, I'm so pathetic. Please help me. Yeah. And then he'd brain them and drag them into the trunk of his VW Bug. Didn't he own one?
I don't know. Serial killers are horrible. But it worked. So, yeah, don't do that. I was so mad when she did that. I was so mad, dude.
I do just want to say, though, I love that Catherine came really close to almost saving herself.
Yeah.
I think that was a cool choice narratively.
Yeah.
Because she almost did. She almost got, like, James Gunn was so upset about him having his dog.
Yeah, he was freaking the hell out.
Like,
he loved his dog. He was psycho, but he loved his dog.
Like, he thought about shooting her, but was worried about accidentally hurting the dog and, like, all this stuff. She actually lied in the book that the dog had broken its leg.
She did in the movie, too.
Okay, yeah.
She's like, she's hurt real bad, mister. You need to help her. You need a vet. And she's like, give me a phone. And, you know, she...
Because he kept her in this hole in his basement.
Yeah, like a hole. Very deep. There was no way she could get out.
Hence the basket and the lotion.
Yeah.
Because he wanted the skin to be... Again...
nice and supple. So
there were so many... Like, there weren't a lot. There was maybe 4 or 5. They weren't even, like, whole chapters. But they were, like, sections where it was Buffalo Bill, like, you were in his head as opposed to Clarice's. And it was horrible every time.
In the book, did they state that... Because they were trying to figure out the first victim. She was actually weighted down.
Yes. And
they didn't know why she was different. But then they started looking through the information and realized...
It was someone
he knew. And, you covet what you see every day.
Yep.
And so that's how she ended up at the house.
And that, and it was crazy. Like, it was such a good lead for her to follow. Like, she really does. They talk about it several times in the book about how she really does have the nose for it. Mm-hmm. And this being, I mean, she did crack the case. She found him. I was disappointed that she killed him. I mean, I understood why she did, because he was dangerous as fuck. But that bastard needed to be locked away.
For sure, but he was going to kill her.
Yeah.
She had no choice. That's the creepiest scene. It's the creepiest scene.
He was hunting her.
In the dark, pitch black, basement. No. Ugh.
Yeah.
I don't know how she saved herself in that one, because I thought he had her, but yay, he died. He died.
And Hannibal Lecter escaped.
Yes, he did. In a very violently cruel way.
And he was smart the way he... So
good.
In the movie, did he use that guy's eyeball?
Use the eyeball?
Yeah, did he use... So, when he escaped, he, like, butchered the guards, right?
Yeah, he hung the one up, like, in a crucifixion with wings and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
They talk about in the book how he, like, savaged them. And it wasn't because that's what he does. It's because he needed to... So, he stashed one of the bodies, and he was taken out on one of the gurneys because he put on the guard's uniform. Well, in the...
He used the whole face.
Oh, okay. I don't know if that's better or worse.
He used the whole face.
Okay.
So when they're... Yeah, he hid the one body. He took the guard's face and put it on his
face, yep.
And it was all ripped up, of course, they thought. And they had said earlier in the movie that Hannibal Lecter was super good at controlling his heart rate and his blood pressure.
Yes.
Like, he could murder a person and just not have any elevation at all. And so they thought he was dying because his heart rate and blood pressure were so low and this and that, and they thought he was the guy. And so then they get him in the ambulance, and did he hide the body on top of the elevator?
Yes, and they only found it because
it was dripping through. Mm-hmm. And then the elevator was going up and down. They didn't know what was happening, and then it just stopped. And that was an intense scene too, because you didn't know what was going to happen.
He was.
And so then he attacks the ambulance people and kills them. And then he just peels off the guy's face. The whole face off of his face. He just made a mask of the guy's face.
So the one orderly that was in charge of Hannibal for his long stay at the original place that Clarice interviews him, his name was Barry, right? Uh-huh. Or Barney. That orderly knew Hannibal's bullshit, okay? Because the two times that things happen, that facilitated Hannibal escaping happened on the two times that Barney wasn't on shift. Because that man ran a tight shift, and Hannibal really respected him. Mm-hmm. I don't know if they showed that in the movie.
I don't remember that. They may have. Sometimes you don't pay attention to those little, those characters that you don't think are huge, but they may have. Because again, Hannibal Lecter, if he respected you, if he had real respect for you, you weren't in danger, I don't think.
Or at least...
For now? I mean, who knows?
As long as you didn't become an obstacle. If he respected you and you became an obstacle, well, too bad.
He might have you for dinner.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then of course Clarice wins awards or recommended
accolades,
whatever. She wins stuff for being great, and at the award ceremony, she gets a phone call. Which is just super creepy. I mean,
who did she get a phone call from?
Oh! Hannibal Lecter calls her.
Oh, okay.
He calls her and he tells her, how great she did and blah, blah, blah. And And he's like, well, I have to go, Clarice. And she's like, where are you, Dr. Lecter? And he's like, I have to go. I'm having an old friend for dinner. And he puts on he has like a Hawaiian shirt and he puts on a hat. And you see the medical director walk by.
Oh, yeah.
They're in a tropical area. And he starts following him. And that's how that ends.
Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy.
Well, he's going to be dinner. So I'm having an old friend for dinner.
I'm not saying he deserves it.
He probably did. You really shouldn't take people that are mentally ill and then pick at them, especially when you're the medical director and you're supposed to be there to... I understand that these people were murderers and they were probably the most violent of the most violent. But why are you going to antagonize that? What is wrong with you that you would go in there and do that? To me, that's you should be in there too. There's something wrong with you. I am not going into a place where I have the worst serial killers in the world and going to pick at them because I have power. Yeah, dude, who are they coming after when they all decide to come after someone? It's going to be me. I'm not doing that.
As soon as Hannibal Lecter escaped, that medical director put himself under protective custody. He's like, he's coming for me! Which he wasn't wrong. But also, maybe if he had ever treated Hannibal Lecter with respect, it wouldn't have been the case.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. So, in the... I know you don't love it, but I would really like to talk about the other movies in the books at some point. Because...
I talk about other stuff I don't like.
Do you hear her? She makes me talk about stuff I don't like all the time.
No, you talk about stuff you don't like too. I mean, it's part of it.
Name one thing I did that I didn't.
I know you loved frogs. Like that was like the best thing I ever suggested.
That was a great movie.
There was something else too that we did that we were both like, what in the world? No, Lawnmower Man. We'll just blame Lauren for.
Also, I didn't have to be... I didn't go through the director's cut. No, you didn't.
Although, Lauren and I did decide that first scene was... You needed that information, so we don't know how you made it through any movie without it, so whatever.
I think it was fine. It was 40 minutes shorter, so...
Yeah, no kidding. Shoo. But yeah, no, we can talk about the other ones.
The reason why is, I love Will Graham as a character. I actually fell in love with the character from the Hannibal, TV series that was canceled, sadly. Ugh, so stupid. Mads Mikkelsen played Hannibal, and he did a really good job. No Anthony Hopkins, but he brought something else to it that was good. I don't love Edward Norton, but he's good as Will Graham. But... in Hannibal, that's the last one, the very last one, the book and the movie take a wild departure from each other.
Which one is it that they eat the brain?
That's Hannibal.
I don't like that one.
But
while he's awake, dude, I know we're not taught. You can cut this if you want. Dude, he's frying his brain while he's sitting there. I don't enjoy it. I'll watch it again. It's been a long, long time. Maybe I'll find something more in it that... I don't know.
I kind of want to go home and watch Silence of the Lambs. It's such a good movie.
It is such... I watched it twice that week.
And the audiobook is really good.
Yeah,
I recommend it because, like I said, as disturbing as it is interesting to hear from James Gumb himself what's going on. And I wish I could remember what he called the girls. Because he really had to make them not human anymore. One of the first things he does when he gets Catherine in the van is checks the size on her shirt. Oh, yeah. He did that to her in the movie, too. After he knocked her out. Yeah. He checked her size. It's just, ugh. It's fucked up. Dude, I'd have been screwed because I was a size 16. Take me away. Take my skin. Ew. Making himself a girl suit. And they say the only reason... And I just read a thing when we were sitting here. I was looking because I had the Wikipedia up just to reference back to. And they did ask if
it would be considered transphobic.
Oh.
Especially now. But they said that they clearly stated he was mentally ill. He was not transgendered. He just thought, because of his severe trauma and how poorly he felt about himself and how he hated who he was and had been so severely abused, that must mean that he needed to be female because he hated himself so much.
Yeah.
So it really was not. But I can see where maybe.
I don't think this is, I mean, it's hard to say because especially the time that it was written in and filmed, it's 30 years ago, you know.
Yeah, I know.
So it's got the 1,000
year I graduated 36 years ago or 35 years ago.
So it's like, even if it wasn't overtly transphobic, I still think it was. And so it's, if you are a person who has issues with those type of, like, this can
really trigger some emotions, for sure.
Yeah, it could be very triggering. So just, be careful if that's something that affects you.
Yeah.
We both know and love trans people, so this is an issue that's dear to our hearts. So we're not trying to be like, oh, this isn't transphobic at all, because I mean, neither you or I deal with body dysmorphia like that.
No,
so we don't know.
We don't know. And
from that perspective, it definitely could be, and especially because when the book and the movie came out, there was pushback from the community about it. I feel like obviously there's some issues with it.
Well, yeah, I'm sure things were not portrayed probably as delicately as they should be.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I have tons of love and respect for lots of people in the trans community, so.
He was, did they talk about how he was gay, too?
I don't know.
It's like, obviously he had to be gay. He was a man who liked to sew clothes.
Jesus. So maybe there are some stereotypes in there.
No, for sure. It's, there's some issues.
I mean, he was just psychotic. That's all I see is psychotic. Anybody that kills women to collect their skin to make a suit.
Maybe there's something a little off about that.
There might be something just a little off there.
Just a little.
I'm not trying to offend anybody. But I'm saying, it might be a problem.
Maybe you should talk to somebody about that. Not Hannibal Lecter, though.
Yeah, not me either. There's professionals. Call them.
Yeah. So, yeah, Silence of the Lambs, awesome thriller, very scary. Anthony Hopkins is the GOAT.
He is.
Jodie Foster in this is amazing.
She is amazing. She's an amazing actress anyways, so.
Sad that she didn't reprise her role.
I think maybe that was my problem.
Okay, let's wrap this up. We're going to be talking about weapons next. Becky's seen it. I haven't seen it yet. I need to go to the theaters and see it. She decided to go see it without me.
Oh my God. The boyfriend came home and took me to a movie. I'll take you to.
Horror is our thing! Not yours and Roger's, it's mine and yours!
I will take you Tuesday when I get back.
You better!
We will go. Or maybe Monday, depending on what time I get back. I gotta move the kid. Unless I can get people to move in for me this weekend.
So anyway, Betrayed.
She's betrayed because horror is our thing.
So we're going to talk about weapons. It's going to be great. After that, we'll do something else, and then we'll do other things, too.
We'll do some things. We are going to, in the second week of September, we will be at Frankenfest in Detroit.
Fort Wayne.
At historic Fort Wayne. At historic Fort Wayne. That will be fun.
We're not presenters, but we are vendors, so if you want to come and visit our booth, that'd be grand.
We're giving away free stickers, man. Free stickers.
And buttons.
And buttons.
Stickers
Come
and buttons.
see us. Say hi. Maybe we'll have something special that you can enter to win.
Probably not.
Probably not.
I don't know.
I don't know either. Last time it was a copy of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
It was a really cool copy, too.
It was.
I was a little jealous. I wanted it for myself.
I know where you can get one.
I already own a really cool copy of Frankenstein.
Well, then why would you need another?
Because do you know me?
I do know you. Yes,
I have more books than I have shelves for.
Yes, she does.
So yeah, we'll talk about something and something and something.
Sounds like a plan to talk about something, something, and something.
Well, we can't give away all of our secrets.
Truth.
Today, the pod, tomorrow, the world. My name is Sydney Rebecca.
And I'm Rebecca Snow.
And we're the Becks.